Hi Tyler, great to speak to you this morning, mate, or for you last night. Just having a look at a couple of things here, working on your body shape. Now, clearly, I went and had a look, did a bit of research, and had a look on YouTube to see what other golf swings on there, and had a look at what it used to look like, and what it's like in these videos. Obviously, this is after Andrew's talked to you a little bit when you're presetting. So I've chopped these up just a little just to get the golf swing itself. But at address here from down the line, it's pretty solid. I would like to see a little bit of stuff happen through here, through this right shoulder blade, and how it's activated at the moment. Just doing a little bit of work there. It's clearly you've worked on that previously from some of the other footage that I've seen with what I was talking about this morning. But my biggest thing for you over the next couple of days in particular, because obviously you've got to go and play, and I'm very aware that this is quite a big event for you, so I'd like to see roughly, probably about 55% of your pressure on that left foot and a little bit more on that left hip being a little higher at address. Essentially from there, that'll set the spine in a little bit better place, so you can basically go around from there. In regards to your worries about being under plane or below or inside plane, I'm not as concerned about that at this point in time. It's just a case of you feeling comfortable with it. But as this starts to go back, and I'm also well aware that by the look of it, this is at Andrew's golf course in Tampa there. Obviously Andrew's on the camera, and he moves around here just a little bit. But as far as when this moves away and how it moves away, we'll start to see the left hip drop quite considerably and the left knee drop quite considerably. And then from there, you've got to try and catch it up and match it up from there. Now, if that goes a little early, which in a lot of the cases here, from what I've seen, it does, it's already going forward from when you're still going back. We'd really, personal preference, I'd really like to see that set there a little bit better before you start moving the pressure into that left foot, because essentially you get that kind of spin out move, as opposed to getting here, getting it set first, and then starting to move the pressure left. I hope that makes sense, and no doubt I'll be talking to you probably in the next couple of hours when you wake up. Apart from that, there's a lot of really cool stuff that's going on in your golf swing at this point in time, and clearly, you wouldn't be where you are right now playing these events if there wasn't. It looks a little forced into that left-hand side there at the moment. You're obviously working on a couple of things there. The stuff that I really like is right there. I mean, you're a little cleared here at the moment. That hip's a little out of the way at the moment, so it kind of looks a little stuck with your arms there. But from my aspect, the things that I like to look at is when that club's parallel to the ground, getting your shoulders virtually parallel to the ground. We know that that's in a good place, and you can keep on ripping at it essentially and have no fear that it's going to go left. But whilst it's a little spun out here and a little stuck, we're going to see things stall a little with your body, and then your arms take over, and that's where I believe you get your left shot from. And correct me if I'm wrong in that department. But essentially, because that bottom half hasn't done what we want it to do to the top of the backswing, and then it starts to clear before you get to the top of the backswing, then from there you're going to get your arms stuck in there. And then from there, if your body stops rotating, so if the power store stops rotating, we'll flip it over with your hands. And from the footage that I've seen, that's nowhere near as bad as what it was. So that's a lot better, clearly. But we always want to try and get better, right? From this angle, yes, it is a little bit below plane, as you were talking about this morning with what Andrew was talking about there. But I still believe that there's going to be a bit more room for you when you set that left hip a little higher. And right about here is where you start to get stuck, and then it starts to want to come back down. I'm not sure as to what why you're working on those certain things with the shaft flattening out, for want of a better term, because that's plenty right there in regards to where this is starting to come back down here. You know, that's not too bad there. I'm pretty cool with that. Yes, it's a little on the inside there at the moment, but that's more to do with those hips clearing a little early, and your arms then sort of start to track out as opposed to underneath you. So what comes first, the chicken or the egg situation here? If we get that bottom half to move a little bit better, we won't have as many issues with it changing directions and those types of things. You'll be able to set it at the top a little bit more efficiently, and that pressure will be able to push into that left side without you spinning out of it and then stalling and letting your hands flip over, and therefore obviously getting your left shot. So the path works too much that way, and the club face is probably square to the target, maybe a little too shut to the path itself, and that's when you get your massive draws or overdraws, especially with the chief in your hands. If that's happening with what looks like a shorter club in your hand, we're going to see some interesting stuff when you put the length of a shaft and the load on your body of a driver. So I hope that makes sense, mate. Please shoot me a text when you get up and see that you've actually seen this video, and anything that doesn't make sense, make some notes for me, shoot it back to me, which would be awesome. I love the footage, by the way, you sent of GW. That, I mean, he can move a golf club. You know, that's golf porn as far as I'm concerned. Get in there and have a look at Robert Rock's golf swings as well, and he's on YouTube as well, his personal YouTube site. There's some pretty cool stuff on there as well. Looking forward to working with you, mate. It's pretty exciting. I think that you can do some pretty cool things in the coming months if we just get a couple of those little things sorted out. You know, you're a long way there. So take care. Look forward to talking to you soon.